It's already going.
All right.
Into it we go.
And Michael can start it that way.
Here we go into the brave blue yonder. I don't even know how the words go.
Do you know, actually, that's very appropriate. And by the way, I'm Lele.
And Mikey.
I thought you didn't want to do that.
It is what it is, okay?
You just own it. Own yourself.
It's going to be like the goat guy, you know? People see me and be like, Mikey!
So, yeah, we're happy to get back together again. Also, I did mispronounce a couple things in the last episode, and I made a couple mistakes.
Who cares?
Exactly. It is an op-ed, and it's defamation. You know,
not defamation.
Dude, defame, you know? I mean, I'm just saying.
I've been defamed.
And when I read it,
defamation.
Hey, I'm learning and figuring things out too. But you know, it was something to laugh about, and you know, that's what this is supposed to be, is fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, who doesn't like making a fool of themselves to potentially millions of people at some point, you know?
Exactly.
I'm all about it. Let's do it.
I know, and I'm really good at being the fool in a situation. I've been good at that my whole life. Let's just be honest.
Speaking from a place of experience.
I'm just saying, it's not the first time. I've turned red a lot.
I've had a couple doozies.
So I'm excited about today's topic. I think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
We're going back to the not so serious what's going on in the world today.
So this is a non-serious topic.
Well, it depends on what you think is.
I suppose, you know, never mind.
So today we're talking about Candle Cove. Does Candle Cove sound familiar?
Which I know nothing about. It's a foreign subject to me entirely.
Okay.
I'm guessing there's a cove, and thereon, somewhere, a candle?
Well, I'm just saying, when you were singing, here we go into the
Wild blue yonder?
wide blue
Is it
yonder?
wide blue?
I think so. Does wild sound?
I think it sounds more fun if it's
I don't
wild.
know. Probably.
Into the wild blue yonder.
I'm down for that. I don't even know if it's wide. I just think it makes more sense.
Okay.
So, Candle Cove, it's that old show with a sinister talking boat and a skeleton, the Skin Taker. That's his name. It aired.
Skin Taker?
Yeah.
Does he perform
But
circumcisions?
he's like Jawbones, depending on when and how you look at it.
Okay.
It aired on a local channel in Ironton, a small town in Ohio, back in the 70s, and had that creepy, like, music that you would play almost at, like, a fair or something, kind of ish to me sounding.
Okay, you already have
called.
my attention. I really want to know where this goes, because I don't know anything.
Over every episode, and there were rumors, too, that when kids said they were watching it, all the parents could see only static. Yeah.
It's like The Ring. It's a crazy, evil demon going to crawl out of the TV.
Maybe. All right. So, Candle Cove.
And so it's a kid TV show.
It was, a kids TV show. Candle Cove was an American experimental puppet TV show aimed at children. It was originally going to be called Pirate Place.
Yar, it's a pirate place.
Locally produced.
I think the other name's a little better.
Uh-huh. The show advertised itself as modestly trying to handle avant-garde educational content.
Are we going to have another word that you have to talk about in the next episode that you said wrong?
No, guess what? I never tried to do it about those scientific words.
Okay.
I won't even go there.
That's all right. I would butcher them too.
It was supposed to be both visual, artistic, and technical.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen it. It's like a live show with like puppets. It's not like cartoons or...
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you some little samples of it, but not quite
samples.
So there was
not at their expense, you know.
Yeah.
They don't need to be sitting here silently while I'm watching.
Exactly.
Pirate Cove.
So Candle Cove was supposedly came out in 1971, And it's believed to have been cursed. You know how there's different films that have been said to be cursed, like The Omen. They said bad stuff happened to people on The Omen, right?
Yeah.
And they said same thing with like Poltergeist.
Yeah.
And even Superman.
Superman?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, the guy did end up in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a true point. That's a true point. So, and you know, anyway.
What about The Exorcist? That was another one that supposedly was pretty messed up and had a lot of bad things happen on the set. And I guess the girl in it that played the main part died later on.
No, she's still alive. Dude, you don't watch horror like me. I've never heard curse about anything with The Exorcist. It was just that people were freaked out by this girl who was like Little Mary Sunshine, like saying terrible things and stabbing herself with scissors.
Little Mary Sunshine. Do you know that I was actually in that musical in junior high school? I played the Native American guide that was really old. I had a 2-part. And I played the villain. I was like, come go Mary Sunshine. Anyway.
No,
brings
good.
Back memories. It's all flooding back. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So, anyway, it seemed like people said that a lot of people who played in this, either their acting careers kind of died or took a bad hit or something bad happened to them. Like, one of the people who played in it died in a car wreck after the cartoon pilot was rejected.
I thought you said it wasn't a cartoon.
Yeah. After the cartoon pilot was rejected, she died in a car accident.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And then...
But of all the things that could happen to someone, I mean...
Yeah, okay, wait.
Car accidents happen all the time.
That's true. But Elmer Grant's, his house caught on fire and he was killed.
His name was
He
Elmer?
burned to death. Hey, that was way back when. That was in the 70s. I knew people named Earl. Not purple people named Earl, but I knew people named Earl. That came out
Everyone
so
knows
wrong.
someone named Earl. You just go to a small rural town, there's someone named Earl.
And he liked to go bowling. It was great.
Okay.
Anyway, so like one of the people went mad. And they say that...
Like to the loony bin mad?
And he died of unknown causes after that. He began going insane while directing. And
so he was the director?
Well...
Or was he on another project?
One of them. So, like, there's more than one Candle Cove releases.
What?
Yeah, and I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay. There was like the relaunch.
One of the guys, his name was Guy Schmidt, was
Mr. Schmidt?
murdered days before the Screaming episode.
What the hell?
Which I will explain that. So
how was he murdered? Is that for a later time?
His murderer was never found. His character was also known as one of the few who did not appear in the episode mentioned. He was also close friends with Emerson Grimes. So he ended up getting murdered. They never found his killer. The Screaming episode, I guess he wasn't in that. I didn't read that.
Did you find out how he was murdered? Was it like shot or stabbed?
I did not look at the details on how all of these people died. I don't know that I wanted to know.
You didn't want to dig deeper?
One of the guys, named Jerry, fell and cracked his head open after the show ended. He ended up okay, but yeah. And he said that he felt like he'd been pushed by something.
Something shoved him down to crack his head.
And another guy named James fell down an entire flight of stairs and broke his leg after being fired.
Maybe he had a little bit much to drink, you know? He was sipping on Grandpa's cough syrup to, you know, cure his woes of losing his current employment.
And there was a girl who played in it who needed to have therapy.
Okay.
Because it traumatized her. The show traumatized her.
Really?
Yeah. See, and I love that I'm telling you all this before I'm even giving you a sample. That's the best part.
Okay, it's so you're setting the stage, right?
I am.
You're letting me know of the weirdness that is coming.
Oh, yeah, but I don't even think that you're going to expect the weirdness I'm going to throw at you. Like, that's how cool that's why I picked this episode.
I'm kind of giddy.
Good.
Lele, I'm giddy as a schoolboy. Show me more. Tell me more. You've piqued my interest.
There's a guy named Walter who got...
Walter?
Yes.
That's a nice name.
He, I guess, became paralyzed later in life.
Like Superman?
There was a guy named William McCoy who was mauled to death by his dog.
What
he voiced Sea Dog.
That's messed up.
I know.
Who gets eaten by their own freaking dog? He must have been abusive. I bet he had it coming. His dog's like, you beat this dog one last time, son. Slap me with that newspaper one more time, I'm gonna go nuts.
Yeah. So if you want to just do a little head peek.
Head peek.
Yeah, because I
have
don't
to
have
wander
this
from
pulled
my
up.
mic.
See, these are the cast.
I'm talking in Lele's mic.
He's here. That's probably way too close, but there's the cast.
They look kind of creepy.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat.
Okay, I have to relocate.
All right, I just wanted
and just like that, I'm back at my mic.
Hey. He knows where he's going.
Yeah, so those weren't the most beautiful people. I mean, they look very normal, and they kind of look eerie a little bit.
Well...
It's not like it was back in the day when, you had a painting done and you sat there for hours, so you looked miserable. I mean, these are pictures from the 70s. Mm-hmm. I didn't see a whole lot of smiles. They looked a little surly.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that.
Okay.
So, all right. Moving on. Sorry about that. I had a link that would not open of something that I was trying to pull up. So I'm actually going to show you now.
Okay.
A little sample of what this looked like.
A little sample of this great, fun show.
And these are all small. Maybe.
I don't want this episode to give me nightmares, Lily.
It was a child's show.
I need to sleep well.
It was a child's show.
Oh my gosh.
Get ready.
I don't want to have therapy. I'm worried.
Okay. Hold on. I'm preparing it. Okay, and we try not to leave you left out when we do these. We do our best. We just need Michael.
When Mikey comes in and doesn't know a darn thing about anything, I have to be learned. She's learning me. I'm getting schooled.
He needs his moments, So I'm going to go ahead and show him this really fast. Okay?
All right.
Ooh, hold on.
Tap it.
Where did
Play it.
Oh, here it goes. All right.
Did you break it?
Put it close.
Okay.
That's one whale of a storm.
Okay, that puppet's scary.
It'll be your hide if you turn tail, Percy. Be brave. Brave the waves. Look, it's Bravery Cave. You have to go inside.
I'm not brave.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, yes, you are.
Know it yet. You have to go inside.
I'm scared, Laughingstock.
Yeah, I'd be scared too.
There's something in there.
There sure is, Pirate Percy.
This puppet person sounds like they need to take a poop or something. There's something in there.
Well then, you have to go inside.
What do you think so far?
What are these images that are flashing?
Oh, look ahead. It's Bravery Cave.
Is that the original? There's like a demon that keeps flashing behind the screen. Is that like...
No, that's Jawbones or the Skin Taker.
The Skin Taker?
I don't know how to play.
Show you exactly what to do. Come on. I'll hold your hand. Percy, come in. Percy, I have some new friends to play with, and you wouldn't want to miss it. Come inside. Come inside. Come inside.
Okay.
Oh. Is there anybody in here?
Dude, this is so messed up. Who? I would not let my child watch this.
Golly, I've never seen a storm wallop the laughingstock quite like this.
Maybe we should abandon ship.
No! Don't leave me!
It's like someone is always watching me.
Yeah, someone is watching you, Mr. Crazy Skin Man.
There you are.
This puppet's teeth, he needs a dentist and an exorcist. Okay, I've seen enough. I'm turning it off. For this, no, that's disgusting.
Okay, so that's Candle Cove.
What the crap?
Yeah, I know, right? Aren't you feeling tickled? Wasn't that like what you would want to watch every day after school?
I think if someone wanted me to say something, like if I was being interrogated by a foreign government, all they'd have to do is lock me in a room with that cartoon, and after about 20 minutes, I'll be okay. I'll tell you anything you want. Just turn it off. Please.
So remember when I told you there are people who claim that they literally recall watching this when they were young, right? And
what network aired this?
It was actually Channel 58.
Well, that's kind of an obscure one.
So
I don't know what 58 is in the 70s.
No, but listen. Okay, so here's where it gets a little more interesting.
Okay, hit me.
Okay, so actually, it's a fake story. It's a creepypasta that was written by a guy in 2009. His name is Chris Straub.
Okay, wait, so that wasn't real?
Not technically. It is now. So you've heard of like, oh God, what's his name? The guy with the white face and the coat and there were girls who actually like tried to kill their friend for him. It's crap.
Sorry, I can't help you on this
Yeah,
one.
I'll remember in a few minutes. I just have like, I have these moments where my brain just doesn't want to tell me what. Slenderman.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh, we're going to have fun with that.
Okay.
Because
Slenderman.
Well, nothing gets realer than two girls trying to kill their friend over a creepypasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
This creepypasta thing's a new thing to me.
Yeah. So this is where...
It sounds like something you'd order on Halloween at some like Italian restaurant, that's kind of fun. I'll take the creamy pasta.
It's so true. So I wanted to introduce it to you, though, the way that most people are introduced to it. They're like, what the heck is this show? But, I mean, like, there's a fun thing to analyze about this, okay?
Okay. What's fun about that?
Well, the fact that
I'm going to need therapy.
Don't you have things from your childhood that you watched that actually were traumatic or that kind of stuck with you, or things that you remember watching maybe with friends that you could never find again that you maybe might have imagined?
It's possible.
And like I said, there are
people nothing
who swear.
Comes to mind right off the bat. I got traumatized by some things like I watched Aliens when I was like 7 or 8. That was a good kind of traumatized. I mean, that scared the crap out of me, but man, I was entertained while it was happening.
Me too. I had nightmares about aliens for years after that. Yeah.
All right.
Freaking Sigourney Weaver was my hero. Weaver. I can't even say her name. Yeah, and I'm trying to say sorry about last episode. No, just kidding. I'm actually not sorry. It was funny. When we listened to it later, we laughed. We laughed at my mispronunciations. We were cracking up.
Yep.
So, especially because I pretty much got it right the first time on one thing, and then I changed it to the wrong thing. It was beautiful. So, okay. So this is what he wrote about it when he made the creepypasta.
And when you say he, we're talking about
Chris.
Okay.
The guy who originally made this. And, every once in a while, someone writes a story about something and it really takes off, right?
Okay.
So they actually made a series later. on Sci-Fi Channel. And I'm going to talk more about that in a second.
Okay.
So this is what he had to say. He said that the thing that caused him to be, what made him decide to write this in the first place is, you get these nightmares when you're a kid. So
and that's exactly what that episode looked like.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, I know, right?
A nightmare on a boat with some crazy puppet, and they're like, go in the code. I'm scared.
Yeah, you gotta go in. So, anyways, he wrote this story just to get the idea out of his head, having flashed on the idea of horrifying half-remembered kids show after reading a 2000 article on The Onion titled Area 36-year-old still has occasional Lidsville nightmare. So he said, while it was funny, the basic concept was frighteningly true. Because we do have those things from when we were kids where it kind of creeped us out and we remember it, right? So he says, it comes most often at night, that niggling memory gnawing in some corner of your mind like a rodent chewing the corner of drywall, the memory of some brightly lit cartoon funland or world of puppets, a memory of a TV show you would watch seated cross-legged on the living room floor with the fixed enthusiastic attention only a child can give. Attention that you wish now you perhaps hadn't given it so freely. For there is something about that show, something about that discordant music, the details of the characters, their motivations, and the storyline, the fixed mechanical grin that seemed, looking back, to be altogether too sinister to be a children's show. You try to block the memory out, and yet, there in the back of your mind, most often at night, the puppet's fixed grin keeps on smiling. I want to point out something here.
Dolls
Do you
freak
remember
me out, man.
Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese pizza, man.
Do you remember those robotic dolls that would do the freaking dances?
I thought they were awesome. I thought they were highly entertaining.
I was a Mitzi Mouse fan.
I went to where we grew up, this place was called actually Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah, it was, actually. It wasn't Chuck E. Cheese back then.
Yeah, but then it got bought out by Chuck E. Cheese. But yeah, they had the little mechanical robot show you watch,
Yeah.
I thought it was great, man.
And you could hear the mechanics when
moving.
she'd lift her arms and they'd lift their arms and blink.
Yeah.
And it always smelled weird because it smelled like metal along with pizza. Do you remember that? Now, looking back on that as an adult, I don't know why our parents took us there because I would be freaked out. I'd be like, look at this thing. This dead-eyed thing.
Are you kidding me? That was like the next best thing to Disneyland.
Showbiz Pizza.
I was like, yes, let's go.
Okay, I just want to point out, Showbiz Pizza was scary, Chuck E. Cheese, whatever you want to call it. I know later they changed it to some like screen TV thing, and I think it was because they realized that the robots were kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you don't like dolls, I like dolls.
Well, can you imagine the maintenance on those suckers?
I collect dolls. My kids are freaked out by my dolls.
I remember you had dolls when we were kids, and it freaked me out then.
Dude, things have good energy. You don't have to look at their staring dead eyes to know that.
What?
No, I mean, like, they can have good energy just because they can't blink.
Holy crap, man.
Okay, I'm just going to stop there.
I'm looking at this doll, and I'm sure getting this really good vibe, like, but not from that doll over there. It's evil, it's bad, but that one, it's got like a halo around its head. It's like a beam of light coming from the ceiling.
I'm just saying. I appreciate their company.
You know what, though? My daughters have a couple dolls that freak the crap out of me, man. And I'm like, why are you holding it and caressing its face? It looks like it's about to grab a knife and stab you in the eye.
I need to find out which dolls so that I can like randomly move them into Michael's territory when I'm at his house and just leave them there for him.
I don't know. I'm a grown man and I'm going to say no.
Anyway, okay. So actually they decided to make a sci-fi, like I was telling you, series. And it wasn't the only story. It was the first season. Was about Candle Cove. Okay? And it aired in 2016.
But remind me again, when did the whole makeup thing of the thing in the 70s happen?
They say that it was in 1971. And there are people who swear they actually remember Candle Cove being on TV when they were kids.
But technically it wasn't.
Technically it wasn't.
Interesting phenomenon.
Unless the guy who wrote it happened to be one of those children, but he blocked it out because he was messed up, but still had like he blocked out that he'd actually really seen it.
His subliminal mind picked out all the details. But it was blocked.
No,
okay?
I mean, like, he convinced himself it was something he made up in his head, but he really watched it. He
actually watched it.
It's possible. You just never know.
I'm still very confused, but continue. More will unravel. I will understand somehow.
So in this series, this child psychologist who moved away from his small town, and I actually had seen it already, and I rewatched it recently, just to up whatever on this.
Are you doing okay?
Yes, but I watch horror constantly.
Yeah,
that's what I go to bed to. I know.
You're kind of weird that way. You're kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
psycho.
I'm just gonna say, think about it. You watch some romantic comedy, you might notice something missing in your life. You watch people run from a monster, you can't relate to them. You're just like, go, girl, go, get out of there. Oh, you're gonna die, and it's fake. So I mean, I'm just saying, I just get entertained. I get some adrenaline, and I go to sleep.
Okay. Although the jump scares do kind of give me some adrenaline, I won't lie.
You have to admit, I do scream occasionally. I've done that in theaters. He's laughed at me.
Yeah.
I get jump scared sometimes. I'm not going to lie. So anyway, okay.
So we're talking about Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah. So they aired, the first season, like I said. And this guy had a twin who was killed with some other children, supposedly back in the 80s. And he's going back to where he grew up to figure out why he's having issues and carving. You need to go home in his arm. Nothing.
Because there's nothing weird
about
he
had a psychotic break.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
But the switch on this, the thing that changed it over is that they actually made it so that when the kids watched these things, they would actually go out and kill people. Because, if you're going to make a...
Yeah, that sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's like Children of the Corn or Amityville or some crap.
So they're all watching. And that cut that I showed you, the recording, that came from that.
Okay.
So these kids would sit down and watch it. Their parents couldn't see it. They were watching static, hence that's the creepypasta. Uh-huh. Except for in that creepypasta, they're just saying it was some messed up show that you watched and you weren't really watching anything. Ooh. But in this, they're literally make kids go and kill people and people they even love. They'll just kill people because they're watching this show. And it's all, interesting stuff. You should watch it. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Because I'm going to give props.
Because I don't have enough shows to watch on Netflix right now.
Yeah. Well, it's just
It's
one
called
season.
what on Netflix?
Candle Cove.
Okay.
it's from Channel Zero. And they have...
But is it a documentary kind of thing about it, or it's an actual... Okay.
No, it's, like I said, they made their own twist on it. The kids become killers when they watch it in Candle Cove.
Okay.
And I'm not going to be a spoiler because I feel like if you guys feel like you want to, you can go and watch it. And I didn't
We don't want to spoil the fun.
No, we don't. So anyway, I mean, I just want to bring up, though, that he brought up an interesting, truth, right? I mean, there's stuff that we've watched when we were kids that kind of maybe were weird for kids to watch. There's stuff that I see your kids watching that I think is weird to watch.
I'm just glad my kids didn't watch Lamb Chops.
Wait, what bothered you about Lamb Chops?
What bothered? Really?
Was it the short curly hair on the lady? Really, what was it?
It was the song that never ended. That was the problem.
Ah.
Yeah.
This is the song.
Stop.
Okay, I won't do it. So many things that scare us as kids start from this tenacious desire to entertain children, right? we want to be entertained. We start to watch stuff, and people make things because they want to entertain children. And sometimes it's produced carelessly, or some special effect comes out way more ponderous or ugly than the creators intended. And it lingers, in a child's mind.
It gets burned. It gets embedded in an image stored in the brain to be called upon at any moment.
Yeah, well, think about it. We have a limited understanding of the world.
Yeah.
You know what messed up my head really bad? And freaking love the movie, by the way.
What?
But that freaking wolf from The Neverending Story.
Oh.
And have you rewatched what he said when he was like about to get eaten by the nothing with Atreyu? That's some serious adult deepness.
It's dark.
Oh my gosh. It is like so dark. And he had cat eye. Like I realized, I didn't notice it when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
But you know how cats, the black in their eye is like slithered? It's not a circle.
It's like a sliver, yeah.
Yeah. He has slithers on his eyes. Plus those really freaking long teeth.
Yeah.
And
it didn't look real at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like
I used to have nightmares about him.
You did?
Yeah. It was like, what was his name? Snarg or something? Do you remember?
I just hated when his horsey died.
Dude, it was... Me too, I cried every single time. Like, literally bawled. But remember, I used to cry when King Kong died, too. It's just the way I am.
Yeah.
But, anyway, I'm just saying, like, do you have any shows that you remember when you were a kid besides Aliens that were, like, kid shows that had a part that just kind of stuck with you?
Man, I'm trying to remember. You're like making me pull stuff out of my brain that maybe I'm not ready to pull out. I might.
You might have blocked it out.
I might have a problem. Yeah, come back to me on that. I'll think about it. But nothing is real strongly coming to mind right now. I'm sure there are things though. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have the nightmare all the time that everything around me was like growing and becoming bigger. Mm-hmm. And like, I think it came from a little bit of a claustrophobia, but I used to wake up screaming in the middle of the night, and my brother Joseph would
our brother Joe
smack me and be like, quit it, but I do distinctly remembering that dream a lot when I was younger, that things were getting bigger.
Okay.
And like closing in on me, and then I would, I didn't want to get squished or like, anyway.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
No, I get it.
I still remember that to this day. And it was a repeat. Maybe it was my body's way of making me get up to take a pee in the middle of the night. Like,
yeah, I know.
You need to pee.
Oh, there you go.
Everything around you is getting bigger. You're going to die.
I remember I used to have dreams that my room would fill up with water and Jaws would try to eat me off my bed.
That's right. Jaws freaked you out.
Well, no, sharks are my favorite animal, but like, it was like this weird robot fish thing. And I mean, have you watched the boat scene where he's like eating the guy alive?
Your description just terrifies me. It fills me with utter terror.
It was like a robot.
The fish robot.
A robot fish eating a guy to death.
Nah, you can see it's like animatronic mouth is like mushing back and forth.
But I want to show you this now because I pulled it for you. I just couldn't remember his name. So I was telling you about the Neverending Story thing.
Yeah.
And like this is a perfect example of like stuff that you watch when you're a kid. And if your mind is like, I mean, it's very serious stuff he's talking about. And his name was Gamork. I said it wrong. But this is the cut where he dies. Listen to what he says and put it up so they can hear.
Okay.
It's craziness.
Okay.
Just push play on that screen.
Push play.
Uh-huh. Turn it up. All the way. Oh.
It's the world of human fantasy.
Put it really close.
Every part, every creature of it is a piece of the dreams and hopes of mankind.
The dreams and hopes of mankind.
For it has no boundary.
But why is Fantasia dying then?
Because people have begun to lose their hopes and forget their dreams.
Their dreams.
Forget the dreams.
The nothing grows stronger.
What is the nothing?
It's the empty.
You're right. He does have pretty creepy eyes.
Listen to this. The emptiness
It
of
is
the
like
empty.
a despair,
Despair.
destroying this world. And I have been trying to help it.
He wants it to win.
Because people who have no hopes are easy to control.
Listen to this.
What the?
Whoever has the control has the power.
Oh, and the lightning strikes.
So you get my point? I mean, that's dark. Like, talking about lack of people's hopes and how freaking the people who have control have the power. I mean, that's like some serious stuff for a kid's show. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, what was the writer thinking when he wrote that?
And then the cat eyes and like these big old fangs, you know? And I'm like, that's not even the end of it. He just listened to part of it. So, like, I'm just saying, there's stuff that we watch when we're kids. And I think adults who make these shows, sometimes they will have these ideas in their head, but they still have their adult mind's view on the world. And sometimes it's morbid. Some people have some morbid, distorted views, and they accidentally put it into these shows that our children are watching.
Yeah, I get it.
So, you know, I'm just like, I don't know. It made me too bad my kids are already grown up. I can't save them now, but you know what I mean? Like, it just makes me rethink the stuff that we put in front of our children, you know, just because they say it's a kid's show.
Yeah,
Right?
we put a lot of very constructive television in front of my kids.
Good.
My youngest daughter, she's a ball of energy, and she is nonstop. So we put a little bow on the go on, and you know, it's like, your energy, give me your energy, and she like runs in place and runs around. It's like, yes, use up all that energy because it's almost nap time.
There you go. So, as far as the you know, show that I told you about, the sci-fi Channel Zero that came out, it had 4 seasons.
Okay.
Sadly, following the airing of Channel Zero Seasons 4, The Dream Door, the TV show quickly canceled. It was canceled by Sci-Fi.
Just wasn't getting enough viewers, huh?
Oh, see, that's what I was going to say. I was going to ask you, what do you think caused the canceling?
People didn't like it.
Yeah.
Why do shows get canceled? They don't make money, man.
Yeah, the ratings weren't enough to justify making a season 5. So you're right. But you know, I find the whole idea of Candle Cove to be darkly romantic in a way.
How on earth could that be romantic?
Well, no, I mean, just the idea that the idea behind it is like a beautiful, scary story you could tell over, you know, by a fire or something, right?
Yeah.
Because like, you know, sitting around saying, oh yeah, and these kids were watching this show with the skin taker and, you know, Percy the pirate and all that.
Skin taker.
Yes.
So like, does he peel kids' skin like a cucumber?
They say that his hat and his cloak is made of children's skin.
That's not messed up.
Yeah. Oh, and his jaw, if you noticed when you watched it, doesn't move up and down. It grinds from side to side. And there's a part in the thing where the little girl asks why his mouth moves like that, the real little girl, and he says it's because he's grinding off the skin.
Ew.
But I only like to give you, you know, small samples of stuff because I know that our viewers can't, you know, and we should link. I'm going to link what I showed you.
Okay.
I'm going to have that plugged.
So they can check it out.
Yeah,
so they're not like, what's he looking at? Please say something. There's been 5 seconds of nothing.
Yeah, and I was worried about plugging stuff with the Johnny Depp case thing because of, you know, legal reasons and crap. And I know some things that people have plugged, they've gotten stuff taken down for. So I figured you guys could look that up pretty easy if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, we'll plug that, and we'll also plug the Netflix series because, you know, like to give props out where they are.
Props due, the props are due.
Where they're due.
Do props.
Anyway, I don't know. Like, I was hoping that you would recall some show. You know, there is one show I remember, but it didn't scare me. It was called The Polka Dot Door. And I still remember the theme song.
The Polka Dot Door?
Yeah. And it, like, when it would go, it would start, it would, like, zero in on one of the polka dots, and then we'd go to the Imagine Land.
Yeah.
And there was a, like, kangaroo fellow called Pokaroo. And there was a song about you imagining him flying. And I think it was from Australia because there was a pokaroo, which was probably not a kangaroo, but a pokaroo. And
is that what they call it?
But it was a good memory. But, you know, everywhere I've looked, I couldn't find it. And that's why I wonder if it came from like either New Zealand or Australia or something. Because I have seriously tried, and I haven't tried in the recent past, okay? I think the last time I looked it up was like maybe in the 90s. But I have never found the polka dot door. But I know it was real, man. I know it. I can even remember the song.
The polka dot door was real.
Yeah. It was like the polka dot door, da 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 to the polka dot door. And then, you know, there was imagine, you can imagine pokaroo flying up high. Now tell me, I mean,
that's pretty specific. I mean,
I know. If I swear, I'm not insane.
You're spitting that off like, you know, pop, pop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is, you know?
Like I watched it with my legs crossed, staring too intently into the TV.
Yeah.
Just like they're talking about.
Like, when I was little, I watched, like, He-Man and Woody Woodpecker. Like,
I did that.
I'm trying to think of, like, something creepy that freaked me out. And it's like, I'm kind of pulling a blank. Maybe I was blessed in my childhood.
You've just been always a happy, giddy little boy who saw all the goodness.
Yeah, all the good things. La, 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 la. Everything's great. Something that freaked me out. I remember.
Okay if there isn't.
I remember, like, remember The Secrets of the Rats of Nim?
Yeah, the Rats of Nim.
I thought the owl with like the cobwebs and stuff was kind of freaky.
Oh man, I thought he was rad. I'm just like, yeah, dude. But I was totally. I'm afraid of those backstabbing rats.
Oh, you dang rats!
But we did watch a lot of interesting things when we were younger. You know, we watched The Dark Crystal. You know that like this Skeksis scared the crap out of me. Please, yeah. You know, I still love it.
Please.
Yeah, and of course I traumatized my children with it because you share these.
Well, you know what's funny though is my next oldest brother that's between Lele and myself.
Yeah, Jobo.
So he would get freaked out by the crab guys. What do they call them? The crustacean thingies?
Oh, I can't remember. Yeah.
But I don't remember getting freaked out about that.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I actually was freaked out by just that one Skeksis. That was like, he freaked me out, man. He's all, come, be friends, let's be friends.
Yeah.
You know, he was just a weirdo, like, ugh.
Props to Netflix on the newest series they did. I thought it was fantastic.
Do you know what? I have a shame to admit. I was so excited it would come out, right? Okay, you got to hear this.
Did you get so hyped up that it wasn't good?
No, it was worse than that.
What?
So, you know, they made this character in it that looks like it might be a Skeksy woman, but you want to think it's not.
Okay.
Snot. Keyword. It's like all snotty and like stretching mucus all over itself. And it's like wearing a dress. It's like gross.
Yeah.
And I have a booger aversion. It's like the only thing that'll make me like dry heave.
Okay.
And so I was having a hard time watching it, why that character was there.
Okay.
And then I had a problem where I was like falling asleep when I was trying to watch it.
Okay.
I don't have that problem anymore. It was like I went through a time period where I'd fall asleep during movies.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but anyway, so then I restarted it and I restarted it with someone else and freaking they stopped watching it with me, and honestly, I have never finished watching it.
You didn't finish?
No, but I like Pip. It's Pip, right? The little podling that carries the spoon.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
He's
I freaking
cool.
love him.
He is cool.
Yeah, he's like the best. I freaking love him. But yeah, I need to finish it. So that's my shame is I have not
Yes,
finished
you
it
do
yet.
need to finish it, Lily.
But I really wish they wouldn't have made
important.
like the snotmonger. It's like disgusting. I'm just saying. I won't even call it anything but an it. But yeah, we watched some cool things when we were kids, and it's definitely different than what kids watch now.
Well, here's the thing. I've noticed that they keep relaunching stuff from when we were kids. Because it's like they can't come up with any new ideas. Like they brought out a new Inspector Gadget. There's a bunch of shows. What's the one with come on, Garfield and Friends. They've done new versions of that. And
I don't know, they've remade a lot of our movies too, which I'm gonna have to say so far I'm not that impressed.
Come on, man, they got the cool CGIs now. They got the green screen, man.
I'm sorry, but I'm just not feeling it. I mean, like sometimes things are just a classic and you should just leave it alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But money.
That's true.
People want the monies. They're like,
true.
oh, I have fond memories of that when I was younger.
So
I'll pay to see if it's bad.
So another thing to throw out is that the guy who wrote this, Chris Straub, has a YouTube channel called Local 58. And it actually, the 58 has some relevance. So in the 1930s was when there was a channel that was made like that. It was Local 58 TV.
Sorry, I got to clear my throat.
And it was in Mason County, West Virginia. And it was named Local 58. And the call sign was WCLV-TV.
WCLVT-TV, coming at you live.
And it was created in the 1930s, so you're going to have to change your accent for that.
1930s. How would I talk differently for that?
Think of how people talked in movies from the 40s. Do you not watch?
Because of my vast experience of not being alive
when
that happened.
I'm just not this good.
I was born in 1984, all right?
But I watched a lot of old movies. Maybe it was because Mom was still showing them to me when I was born and not when you guys were. Because I grew up on like Shirley Temple and even like a whole bunch of other black and whites.
Share Shirley Temple shows.
Yeah, Mom was a fan.
Yeah.
But I also used to watch like even serious black and white. So, but I can't duplicate those accents. You know who can though? My youngest.
Oh,
he's good at that voice.
Well, I'm sure if I heard it, then maybe
you would
replicate it.
run with it, but that's okay. We'll let you start out next episode with that
another
accent.
time,
yes.
Another place.
But anyway, so it came out in the 1930s, that channel, and it's been continuously hijacked over the period of decades.
Channel 58?
Yeah. With a series of broadcasts of ominous and surreal videos. So on this Local 58 on YouTube, you can find really weird crap that was posted on Channel 58.
In case you're curious and you have nothing better to do.
If you're looking for somewhere deeper to go.
Check it out.
See, and that's the fun of us, is that we will jump all over the place. You cannot say that we fit into
I'm pretty sure
space.
we both have ADD.
I plead the fifth.
My mother told me, because I was a very energetic child.
I think it's ADHD for both of us.
Hyper?
I think so. I think we're a little hyper.
But I remember my mom telling me, she went to like a parent-teacher conference when I was in kindergarten or first grade, and the teacher suggested that they put me on Ritalin, and my mother had to fight back. She had to take control of herself not to slap the lady. She was very furious, but,
Yeah, they did the same thing with mine, youngest. And I also refused to put him on drugs because, you parent like you were parented. And we turned out fine.
We are all on drugs, yeah. Give me some of that stuff.
Yeah, we're just not druggies. It's just not the way it is. But cheers.
Cheers.
We do lift a glass here and there.
So raise your glass.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought it would be fun to talk about it. When I first heard about Candle Cove, I actually thought it was legit just because somebody, you know, hearing just passing, they're all like, did you hear about that series? So I wanted
Isn't
to
it
check it out.
interesting what we believe?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just hearing that there was some series that came out that was really weird for a few months in a place and then got shut off made sense to me. Because I have seen weird stuff as a
So all those people were forged, all the pictures of the people who supposedly died and had bad things happen to them. It was all a bunch of hogwash.
I mean, it makes a good story.
Trixie, Force, Precious, they lied to us, yes.
A little bit.
Okay.
No,
well,
but were you not amused?
you've been had.
Were you not entertained?
Yeah, well, I was concerned because the second I watched 20 seconds of that clip and I'm like, man, alive. This is like from the depths of Satan. Like, it was awful. The images combined with the music and the puppets.
Yeah. Oh, and the laughing
I
episode.
was about to claw my eyes out.
The laughing episode they talked about, they were saying initially in the you know, series setup that they were actually just testing sound in that, and it accidentally got aired and it freaked people out, and that's when the episode, like, they stopped the show.
Oh.
Yeah. But they also said that they used a pirate song that was by Disney, and that they ended because of that. And they said it was like episode 12 in season 2. And so you never know. Maybe there really was. And maybe I misunderstood what I was reading. And maybe everything I read to you about that was true. And that I just know that he talked about his creepypasta and that he made these video clips, but maybe, I don't know. You just never know.
Maybe you're just making me doubt everything.
Maybe we should never.
Nothing's real. It's all fabricated.
You never know.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you know, be careful of skin takers. And, you know, if you're selling on a boat called the Laughing Stock, you might want to look at your life differently.
You might want to jump off the dang ship is what you should do.
And it had a big open mouth that could swallow the sea.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I think it was interesting that, like, the boat sounded like the Mad Hatter was one of the voices I do. He's like, let's go into the cove. Let's go in that cave. Do you see it? Do you like it? Never mind the demonic thing behind the darkness in the cove. Just keep on coming with me. We'll sail in together and have a grand old time.
Yeah,
you know?
it's Courage Cave.
Courage.
Gotta be brave enough to go inside. Courage. Any last thoughts?
Wow. There's a lot of weird crap out there. I'm glad we can talk about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just have to say, you know, I'm like, you got to be careful about what you throw out to kids and maybe pay attention to what your kids are watching.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
All right. We'll see you next time. Who knows what we will pull out of our hat then. And we appreciate you listening. Eventually, we'll start upgrading stuff. We'd even like to get to where you guys can actually see us during recordings, but just give us some time.
Yeah, who wants to do camera work and all that crap?
We'll get on it. We will, eventually.
It sounds like so much to do. I'd rather just talk into the mic like this. All right, peoples.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Until next time, cheerio and have a great day.